Yes, guys, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. Welcome back, the lads. My name is Cossy, and a couple of people have been asking me to do this video. I think this is the third time I'm doing this video, and it should be the second last time that I do it. I'll do one at the end of the window, but because we have got new signings, because we have added a couple of new new additions that you already know, so this video is literally for the few millions of people who are not following the channel, or the many millions of people who have actually not been following the channel. But if you've seen All Done Deals Part 1, All Done Deals Part 2, I don't think this one is gonna be a massive surprise for you. But if you've not seen the All Done Deals Part 1 and Part 2, Part 3 is a very, very essential video for you. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, make sure you smash a like, and let's get the party started. So in this one, I'm only talking about all done deals that have players that have only joined Arsenal. Later, tomorrow or later in the week, I'll actually do the second part, part 3, but literally part 3 part 2, whether it makes sense or doesn't, I'm not really sure. And we'll talk about players that have actually left the club, and players that are confirmed that they will leave the club as well. So smash a like on the video, do subscribe to the channel. Let's get the party started. Number one is Ben White. We all know who Ben White is. Arsenal, I think he was not the first player we signed in, but he's the most expensive transfer we have done in this summer. And with a couple of priorities that Arsenal needed to do, is, there is a very big question around Ben White. Should we have signed him in the first place? Should we have spent 50 million on a centre back? Was he a priority, or things like that? Now, at the moment, he is Arsenal's biggest acquisition for £50 million. We've signed him from Brighton, 23 years of age. He looks like one for the future. He really doesn't look like a player that is going to be around for Arsenal to create an immediate impact. Yes, he can do that. He can replace David Luiz and William Saliba as an immediate option, but I think he's one for the future. For a defender who's 23 years of age, played one season in the Premier League, you don't expect many things. He's gonna make a lot of mistakes, just like you saw in the Brentford game. He was absolutely demolished in that game. He lost concentration, he lost his cool. He was actually never that good. So he's the first player we signed in. I mean, he's the most expensive player we signed in, and he's the first player I have talked about in this show. So I know you know Ben White. Let's move on to the next one, who will be Martin Odegaard. Now, this is one of the latest signings Arsenal have done. Martin Odegaard was with us from January to June, and then on a loan spell a loan spell of 6 months. He went back to Real Madrid at the end of the season. Arsenal did whatever they could. They did whatever they had to do to bring him back, and finally Martin Odegaard is an Arsenal player. What is surprising for me is only the price, because look, okay, let's say this. The price, I thought the price would be around 50 million or 45 million, but it was just 30 million euros. That is literally less than 40 million, less than 30 million pounds. It's a good deal for Arsenal. 22 years of age. He's another one, that is growing. 20, like I say, 22 years of age. He's growing, very fast. He's growing very well. He might, he has the potential to become a world-class midfielder. That is what Arsenal want. They don't have money. We don't have money to spend on the likes of James Maddison, the likes of Kylian Mbappe. We have got to groom our own Kylian Mbappe's, our own James Maddison's at this moment. And Martin Odegaard signs. He will be putting on shirt number 8. What I forgot to tell you about Ben White is he will be putting on shirt number 4 at Arsenal. Martin Odegaard will actually put on shirt number 8. A little bit more of a switch here. He was actually putting on shirt number 11 in January, from January to June, during his loan spell. Now he will actually be putting on shirt number 8. Now there are a couple of mixed reactions around Martin Odegaard, especially with, fans like me who feel he's a great player but not a marquee signing, and then fans who think he's damn average. Cossy, he's damn average. Don't tell me anything about that. Look, whether he's damn average or he's good enough, I'm not sure, but what I know is he is an Arsenal player. We'll be putting on shirt number 8, and he will solve part of our creativity problems. Moving on forward, away from Martin Odegaard is Aaron Ramsey. Now, Aaron Ramsey is another one that is receiving a lot of mixed reactions from Arsenal fans. One thing I can confirm is going to be our backup goalkeeper this season, and he is one of the most expensive goalkeepers Arsenal has ever purchased in his history. Look, okay, wow, listen. We have a backup goalkeeper who is actually more expensive than our first choice goalkeeper. Damn, Arsenal, you're rich. We've got the money. And at one point in time, I agree with someone who said, if Arsenal are splashing 25 million, 24 million on a backup goalkeeper, then they have the money. Do we have the money? Is it true that we have the money? Now, I'm really not going to jump into that. But one thing you've got to know is that Aaron Ramsey joins Arsenal from Sheffield United for a staggering 24 million pounds. A staggering 24 million pounds. Now, there's a big question. Many people are going to ask me this question, and you know what? I'll be glad to answer it. Cossy, is he good enough? Yes, he is he is good enough. He's still a young player. You expect a lot of mistakes still, so you don't expect him to be a perfect goalkeeper. A lot of mistakes and a lot of things to learn as a young goalkeeper. But he's a perfect goalkeeper in terms of that, in terms of filling in as a backup goalkeeper to Burnley. Now, I think Arsenal got the right man. Whether look, whether he is worth 24 million, whether he is not worth 24 million, there are so many questions around that. I don't like to get involved, and I wouldn't like to get involved. But honestly, I think Arsenal really did overpay. We did overpay for Aaron Ramsey. Probably should have been around 20 million pounds. But as the problem is, and I say this when we were signing him, is Aaron Ramsey actually cost 18 million to his transfer from Bournemouth to Sheffield United cost 18 million. So expected it to cost more than that. The conditions are that if Ramsey plays a certain amount of games and a certain amount of games in Europe, both in the league and Europe, the money or the transfer fee could actually raise until 28 million. So Arsenal literally have a 30 million euro goalkeeper. What are your thoughts on Aaron Ramsey? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think it's a good signing, or do you think Arsenal really wasted money? Now, the other one is Alaba Lokonga, my signing of the summer. Look, many of these guys have actually not stepped onto the pitch. We've seen the likes of Ben White, we've seen the likes of Nuno, and we also seen the likes of Alaba Lokonga. Guys, Lokonga is my best signing. One thing I've said is we needed someone who brings what we do not have, and I think yes, Nuno does as well, but I think Alaba Lokonga is one to say what a signing. He is one to say what a signing Arsenal have made, what a signing Arsenal have done. It remains to be seen during the rest of the period how he's gonna react and how he's gonna cope up with the league. But in my own case, in my own opinion, I think Arsenal did get in the right man in in Alaba Lokonga. 20 million euros from Anderlecht, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant signing. If you look at him in that pitch, the average position, the way he picks up the ball, the way he distributes the ball, the way he actually fights for the ball, his intelligence, his discipline, very calm in the midfield. I think that was one that you say, Edu, you got that right. You got the right. You got the rest of the signings probably not so right. Away from that is a youngster. Is a youngster under 23. Very brilliant signing. Another striker, Mika joined Arsenal from Fulham. and it's reported the fee is not actually very high, around 1 million or even less than 1 million, if I have my facts right. Mika joins Arsenal, on a long-term contract, and will be playing with the junior team. I did report about that on the channel, so make sure you check out the video as well. Right. Lastly is Nuno Tavares, backup left back to Kian Tierney. He has had a good start. Honestly, he has had a good start. If you ask me, if anyone needs to know whether Arsenal, whether our transfer summer signings have had a good start, I think Albert Lokonga has had a good start. Tick. I think Nuno Tavares has had a good start. I will be ranking these guys. I'll be ranking these Arsenal players and transfers, so don't worry. But I think honestly, Nuno Tavares is one that has got it right. I think Edu got it right with Albert Lokonga. The rest, we are yet to see good performances from them. So that's it. All Arsenal done deals. Nuno Tavares, number one, signed in from Benfica for a fee of 10 million euros, 8 million euros plus add-ons, which actually makes it 10. We've talked about Mika from Fulham joining the Arsenal under-23s. We've talked about Albert Lokonga from Anderlecht joining Arsenal, and he's my best signing of the summer so far. Ramsey, the most expensive goalkeeper Arsenal have at the moment, also joined us from Sheffield United. Martin Odegaard joined us from Real Madrid for just 30 million euros. And lastly, my man like Ben White, my centre back, also signed from Brighton and Hove for 50 million pounds. Ben White will be putting on shirt number 4. Odegaard will be putting on shirt number 8. Albert Lokonga, shirt number 23. Aaron Ramsdale, shirt number 32. Mika I'm yet to find out the squad number. I will confirm with the under 23s information. And lastly, Nuno Tavares will also be putting on shirt number 20. My name is Cossy. Smash a like on the video. Do subscribe to the channel. More uploads coming your way. I'll speak to you soon.